Hey everyone, it's MK from MK Quilts and MK Quilts University. So I'm dropping a quick promotional video today across most of my social media platforms. And what is to follow in this video clip is a replay from my live Q&A session from January 9th, 2023, and it's a little bit of a sneak peek to an upgraded version of a software package that we developed about 4 years ago, and it's been called QPI. That stands for Quilt Pattern Indexer. And basically, what you're looking at on the screen is two screenshots. The one on the left is the current version. The one on the right is a screenshot of the beta version that I am currently using in my studio. Now, what you're about to listen to may seem a little bit Greek if you don't know anything about what we're talking about. So, a little introduction. The Quilt Pattern Indexer software is a software that we developed to help computerized quilters organize and index their digital designs. Now, you'll see in the images that the design file formats that we currently are able to work with are the file formats that work on Pro Stitcher. Those are either HQF or HQV, like Victor, and QLI. Our Pro Stitchers read QLI file formats. That is the file format that is also read by the Statler, which is on the Gammil machines. So what the program does is it allows you to index all of the digital designs that you own. Now, what I'm talking about in this next portion of the video is the upgrade to the software that is coming, hopefully by February of 2023, that allows us to also index digital embroidery designs. So if you're watching this and you're an embroiderer, you're going to want to listen to this next part of the video. If you're an embroiderer and you have other embroidery friends, you're going to want to share this video with them, and you're going to want to hop over to mkquilts.com and also our social media sites. I will post a little graphic of all of the places where you can find us and follow us at the end of the video. But you're going to want to keep watch because we are going to be rolling out the new updated version of the software, which will be indexing both digital quilting designs and digital embroidery designs. And it's all very, very exciting. All right, take a listen, and I hope you will be as excited as we are here at MK Quilts. Let's just give you another little sneak peek and talk a little bit about what has been formerly known as QPI. We are going through some rebranding, renaming, getting something new for a logo, reworking the website. Of course, Paul is taking pretty much the lead on some of that. But what you're looking at is a very minimal folder of embroidery designs that I own and that the program is now indexing. I have been wanting this for a long time, you guys. I know you have as well. We are very excited about it because we do feel that it's a way for us to reach more quilters and more embroiderer folks who are probably also quilters. And we are pretty much working through with people that we have hired. We're having follow-ups every week. We just had a follow-up today. Of course, there's some bugs and some things that need to be fixed, but it's looking really pretty good, actually. This is just an image, and you'll see at the bottom, hopefully you can see, it's even showing colors. Now, specifically, I'm not sure that I didn't even know that they were building that in. So I don't know if that's a huge, if you're like jumping up and down right now that you can see the colors down there. The thing that I am jumping up and down about is that I can see the image of the embroidery design. And as we know, if we embroider, that embroidery designs are quite different than quilting designs because there's more jumps and there's all these colors and the like. And so the development of this has been pretty in depth for them to figure out how to do this. I will tell you, and I want you to understand that it's still in beta right now. This version that you're looking at right now is I'm calling it a beta version. And some of the images, you might look at the image and you're like, oh my gosh, there's all these lines in there. They're working on that. Some of the file formats appear a little cleaner than other file formats. As we know, there's all kinds of embroidery machines made by all kinds of manufacturers out there with all different kinds of embroidery file formats. So it's a lot of work for these people to do. I will say it now. Of course, we will cover it again when we release the software and have a webinar about it and the like, is that you really need not be concerned about these lines because the lines are actually not stitching lines. Okay, so this is not a corrupted file. It's not a bad file. You're not going to get all these rogue lines being stitched out in your embroidery. It's just a little bit of an issue with how the image displays. But I would rather have an image display that has a few rogue lines in it and the ability to organize that and keyword that and be able to search on that and find what I have. The lines matter little to me as long as I can find it and search for it. Okay. So that is just a little bit about that. We are very excited. I will say this, and this is just a fact of life, and you probably can already know what I'm going to say about it. We haven't zeroed in on the pricing yet. Now, the original QPI right now, I do still believe it's $150. We haven't changed that yet, but there might be a price change for that. Okay, I'm just being honest. Okay, so if you want to get your hands on QPI before the price goes up and before we change the name to something else, you might want to get it now because we're not Paul, are you there?
Yeah, I was just going to say the current price of QPI gets you the quilting patterns. And you will not be charged more for the upgrade. However, you will be paying for the license for the patterns. Okay, so embroidery patterns, more complex, more costly, and maybe we'll go back and add some more different quilting patterns, but it's not that you will get these embroidery patterns if you buy QPI for quilting today. You will have a way to add the embroidery patterns to your QPI when you upgrade, if you so choose, for a fee. Okay. Sorry,
Yes.
dear. I just didn't want them to think they could jump on the embroidery pattern bandwagon here, because I will tell you, without the decimal point, it's costing us 5 digits to develop this. So it's not a small development effort, but we will be happy to break even on this one because I think it's needed out there. So
yeah, and all I was trying to say is that the price of QPI, the base price, may be going up in the future. That is for the quilting designs. That's the part of the pattern that we've had now for like what, 4 years. It's $150 right now. It may be going up. You guys, I cannot quilt without this program. I mean, it is like a godsend. And the fact now that we can add on a module that's going to have its own price tag attached to it for this embroidery functionality is just like the cherry on top, right? I have a lot of people that are very, very excited about this. So my point of saying that is that if you've been on the verge, if you've been on the fence about QPI, you might want to get it now before it potentially becomes more expensive to get just the quilting part of it. And then we will be releasing, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, 3 weeks, about the overall pricing, the new look, any new websites, and all of that. Okay, so I'm super excited. I am not an embroiderer. I just got an embroidery machine like a year and a half ago, and I haven't even embroidered anything on it. I have, however, done some of these designs, right, that I converted and stitched on my long arms, which I have a whole class out there for that. So that's why you're seeing many of the designs that I have are simpler types of designs, fewer colors, not a lot of jumps, and they're designs that can easily be modified and made larger to stitch on a long arm. Okay, but the intent of this is for you, those of you who are embroidery and you have thousands and thousands of designs, you will be able to index them and keyword them and or get them organized and find them in search and all of that. All
Let me
right.
clarify a couple of questions that were in the chat there, if you would.
Mhm.
So for your current QPI owners, we're not going to charge you more to keep the same features. The title may change. We may fix a few sorting bugs and other things, but the majority of the effort is going into the support of the embroidery pattern. So if you're an embroidery person and you don't need to do the quilting patterns, you can purchase just the embroidery patterns with the main engine. So we'll have two versions, and then you can add on the other features. We will be adding features, but right now I know in our license it says dot upgrades are free and new versions will cost, but anyone with QPI will get a free upgrade to the MK digital pattern indexer, but will not include the embroidery patterns without an additional fee. So you can continue to use it as you are. And Melissa's pointed out a few idiosyncrasies that we're working with the software developers to get rid of and improve it. So there will be a few sweet things in there for you as we go on. So, and then one other
Yes,
thing.
and
Go ahead.
no, I just was going to say that a lot of you that use QPI did send in some requests for different things that you wanted that side of the software to do. We have all of that. We will try to implement that along the way as we could. But as Paul said, it all costs money. We had to make a decision about where we were going to put the money, and we felt that putting it into the add-on with the embroidery was important. QPI is wonderful. So yeah, could it have a few extra bells and whistles and be even better? Yes, but it's wonderful the way it is. So we focused on the embroidery with the money that we had to spend.
Well,
Okay,
and
sorry, Paul.
Dee
Go
Dee
ahead.
mentioned some printing for QPI. There was some there. They just displayed some additional flexibility with printing of both the embroidery and stuff. It will be limited and we'll grow it over time. So that will be coming. The other thing to clarify so that everybody understands, we do not have any patterns in this program. We do not modify any patterns at all, whether they're quilting or embroidery. All it is doing is indexing and looking at what you have on your computer or your USB drive or whatever, and allowing you to create an index and references and keywords and select them, print them out, move them around, things like that. I'm hoping down the road we'll be able to pass them off to the embroidery software like we can do with Pro Stitcher, but we'll do it one step at a time.
Yes, yes, that is very, very important to understand. And that's why I said before when I was showing you the image that it looked like it had some rogue lines in it. The program isn't doing anything to your embroidery file. It's just in its magical way that I don't understand because I'm not a programmer. It is just being able to take that picture that and display the image to you, which is so crucial. I mean, the way that I use the design, the quilting design side of it is if I can pick and choose a few files and open them up on the screen, that's how I work with my clients who come in to have their quilts finished, right? They step up, we have a big monitor in our studio and we plug in QPI and they say, I want something with feathers. Okay, well, let's search for feathers and then let you pick. And being able to just show them the pictures without having to, find one of, 20 binders that you might have, or trying to figure out which disc you had that design on, or who did I buy that from, or where do I have it saved. It just melts all of that away, and you can just see that image. Yes, you have to do a little bit of work. There's just no getting around it. You have to get organized, and you're probably going to have to do some keywording, but those types of things are things that you do once and then it's done, and you can search, and it's a beautiful thing. All right, so there you have it. Here's Paul and I. Paul is my husband and co-owner of all things MK Quilts. And here is how you can find us. mkquilts.com, our regular website. Online store, shop.mkquilts.com. The online training site where I specialize in training on Pro Stitcher and Pro Stitcher designer topics, university.mkquilts.com. Find me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search for MK Quilts. And of course, what we've been talking about here today, QPI, Quilt Pattern Indexer, at quiltpatternindexer.com. There is a 14-day free trial period, so you can check it out. And then after that trial period, you can purchase the license at shop.mkquilts.com. Just search QPI in the search bar there. And there's Paul with our security chief and mascot, Samson. But here is the Quilt Pattern Index activation key. It's currently $149.95. That will get you access to indexing the digital quilting designs. If you want the embroidery, that will be released at a price yet to be determined. And of course, if you want them bundled together, that will also be released as a bundle price in the very near future. Thanks so much for taking a listen. And until next time, everybody, from my studio to yours. Happy quilting. Bye-bye.